Hey guys, all right, let's jump into it. Today we're actually going to do another product review. From time to time, people send me products. They ask me if I can give my honest opinion on them, and I do. I've been sent products before that were absolute garbage, and unfortunately I had to give bad reviews on some of the stuff. But today what we're doing is I have a Chevy Silverado behind me, and I actually take care of a fleet of trucks. We got about 50, 60 vehicles out on the lot. And these are contracting trucks. They're out, they're pulling trailers, they're pulling machines, they're snow plowing. So the key thing with these is high visibility, right? Especially in snow plowing, we want some bright lights, and operators need to be able to see where they're going, and other people need to be able to see our vehicles. All right. So I was looking into these bulbs from this company, Lastfit, and they had reached out to me and asked me if I could do a review on them, and I was kind of interested because these are high visibility bulbs. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be better than halogens. It's some new LED technology. All right, so today we're going to see if LASFIT is a good fit, and I'm going to show you, this is a 2015 Silverado 2500 HD. I'm going to show you how to get to those bulbs, put these in, and we're going to see if it works. We're going to give an honest review. So let's take a look at these beforehand. This is our before, and I got a little bit of sunlight coming in there, so I don't know how well that's going to affect our after. Okay. These are our before. And I know it's going to be really hard to tell on video, guys. It's really hard to give it, to give you an honest perspective of it through a camera. Plus, you got sunlight coming through there. But I'll definitely give you a heads up on if they're legit or not. I'll be able to tell. We are actually going to go in through the top up here. You can take the wheel well off and try to go in that way, but I'm telling you, unless you got really, really tiny arms, you're not going to be able to do it that way. So we're going to start by taking this panel off, and this has a bunch of clips here. A lot of these are broken here already, you can see. But we're going to get our trim tool, and we're going to pull up all these little clips. Some of these are missing already. But I think there's about 12 of them up here. That one's missing too. And we're going to remove this whole shroud right here. Little trim tool right here, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to get that down under that little clip there, and be careful when you pry these up because they do go flying around, and you'll have them all over the floor, and that's probably why these are missing from the last time. Once you have all those popped up, you can simply just lift up on this and it will come right off. Now that that's off, just come right in here. You're going to see where your air filter assembly is here. Come over here, you're going to see a clamp. Get a flathead. You're going to want to take this clamp off, and you'll be able to pull this hose off. I had already loosened this, so what we're going to do is we're just going to push that off just like that. All right, now here, some people would typically try to pull this whole assembly out as a whole, but a rule of thumb, a lot of times when you're fixing something, you think you're doing something real simple, you end up breaking something else. The top of this cover actually has some of your wiring harness going into it, here and here. And sometimes these clips can be really brittle, and when you go to unplug these and you're prying on them, they snap, and now you have a whole nother problem. So what you want to do with this air cover here is you're going to have a bolt in the back on each corner. All right, there's one there, and there's going to be one up there. We're going to take those off, and we're just going to take the top of this off and kind of put it out of the way for now. Now, with those 4 hex heads actually taking out, you can push back on this because you're going to have to get past this bar that goes from the fender to the front here. You're going to have to push back on that and pull up, and now you pretty much you have this out of the way. All right, and then you can go ahead, pull your air filter out of there, set that up there, and then you have your bottom case here, which basically you can just pull up here. This model, there's no support on there. All right, and that's out, and voila, we got some room here to get in there now. All right, I got my little video camera here, telescopic camera inside the fender, and you can see that's the socket right there. Now the one next to it with that red wire right there, that's going to be your headlights. But this one right here, right next to it, the blue, it looks green through my cell phone, but it's actually blue. But that's the one that we're going to try to get to right there, and basically we got to turn that counterclockwise. So that's going to be a tricky part, is getting our hand in there to take that out. So, and I know you're thinking, all right, I'm going to change this light bulb in 5 minutes and then get on the road, but good old Chevy made it a little bit difficult to do that. So it's going to be a little aggravating just to change one little bulb, but we're going to get through it. Let's go. All right, our assembly's out of there now. We're going to come up here. We're going to get out your 10 millimeters. You're going to have one here on this bracket. You're going to have one here. And then there's going to be some all the way along the front of your grill here. And over your driver's side here, you're going to have another 10 millimeter here. Follow it around up here, and you're going to have another 10 millimeter there. There's your grill. So if you're looking at the back side of your grill here, okay, this is the top right here. But this is essentially what you're pulling out. See these little clips right here? These are the clips that you're trying to pull out, just so you get an understanding of what you're pulling out here. All right, and some of them pop into these places here. You can see where they all pop in at on the body there. Now keep in mind, if you're only changing your turn signal, then you don't have to take off that driver side or that passenger side, depending on what side you're changing. In my case, we're putting both sets of turn signal lights in, the new LASFIT ones, so we're doing both turn signals, so I have to take off both headlights. And now that the grill is off, okay, you follow your light down, you're gonna see another 10 millimeter right there. On the passenger side, we come over to the driver's side, come down, you're gonna see another 10 millimeter right there. Now, with all of those bolts out, you want to be really careful at this step, okay? Because right here, you're able to actually pull that headlight out, pick up on the bottom just a little bit. You see, you're able to turn this all the way out now. I have this turned. See how I got that turned out now? Now, I have smaller hands, so now I'm actually able to get in here to my top, and I'm able to get down to my bottom. Now, somebody with really large arms might have a problem getting in here, but it does open a little bit more like that. There we go. Now we have even more space. Okay, now, if you don't want to just try to operate on just those two bolts and putting your hand in behind the lights, or if your hands are too big, or you just have a really nice truck and you don't want to take that chance of breaking your light, okay, what you want to do now to get that light completely out is go over to your wheel well here, all right, and if you look, you're going to have 1, 2, right there, 3 of these hex heads, all right. Most people take out the first 2, but guys, take out that third one. I'm telling you, you're going to want that extra room. Take those 3 out, and you're basically going to pull this aside. I'll show you on the other side. I already took it off. Okay, you can see I got the 3 out there, and I pushed this aside and just kind of tucked it onto my tire there, so they actually have room to get in here. Now, in here and up there, there's a 10 millimeter. That's holding the bottom of your light. Okay, you got a little bit of room to get a little ratchet in here, but take that 10 millimeter out, and you'll be able to slide that whole light assembly forward. One problem you're going to have by doing it this way, by not pulling the lights completely out, is these bulbs are a lot longer. So when you pull out those other bulbs, you got limited space, but you only have a little bulb. When you put these longer bulbs on and you go to try to put them back in, it's hard to get them back in there. Now, you can pry more and more on your light and try to open up more of a gap, but you're going to break trim, or you might break the light or whatever. So what you probably want to do is take the light completely out. I am actually going to finish the install without taking the light out. I had to mention taking the light out because if somebody breaks something, because you really are straining the light when it turned like that. I do have small hands. I am able to get in there. It's a little bit tough getting these longer type of bulbs back in there. And I'm recording this after the fact, after I've already did this install, just so you know. Because I wanted to address the problem that you were going to have. So I was able to maneuver that light around a little bit and turn that bulb so that I was able to slide it in. But I'm going to be honest with you, I sat there for 20 minutes trying to get that bulb in, and I almost broke the bottom bolt. And I should have just taken it out completely. Now you want to reach your hand in there. Let's see if I can show you guys here. There's our top one right there. You can see. Got that yellow, that blue, and the blacks. That is the top bulb that we're going to take out. Now, it's hard to get my hand in there with this camera, but essentially, let's see if I can do it this way. You want to turn this. Now, we're on the driver's side, so you want to push this towards the fender. There we go. Push it towards the fender. all right, counterclockwise, and just pull that bulb out. And then, if I can do this with one hand, you just kind of pull up on that bulb and voila, there you go, that bulb's out. On this side, you will do the same thing. You will pull your light out like that, same thing. You will turn that counterclockwise, which basically is going to be this way. You're going to stick your hand in there and turn it this way and pull it out for your top bulb. All right, so that's the bulb we took out. You can actually see, look at the size comparison. That's the first obvious thing I see with these bulbs. But what I find really cool is, I mean, just look at these things, man. Just the design that went into these. Yeah, I really want to plug this thing in and see how they work. So, I'm assuming it just slides right back in to the socket. I probably don't know if I can do this with one hand or not. And man, I hope I don't drop this bulb, because that would not be cool. I only got one set of them. Come on, you could do this with one hand. Let's see. It's going in. Ah, look at that. Popped right in. And that was proof. It can be done even with one hand. That's how easy it goes in. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn on the lights. And I want to see the brightness of this one. And then we're going to pull that bulb out with the original bulb. And look at the brightness of that one. Can't wait to see these work. Let's try it out. Hey guys, look at this. So they're not in the lights. These are just the bulbs hanging. You can clearly, I mean, look at the brightness coming from that side of that bulb. And there's like no light coming from that side. And look, this light is actually exposed just like that one. Wow, look at that. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't, ooh. I couldn't even stare right into that. I'm seeing white now. Hold on. That is a really bright bulb. Wow. I mean, you could just see the difference. They're both hanging, and look at, incredible. Let's do this test here. We're going to stand next to the LASFIT bulb. Okay, see how bright that is, how it's illuminating me? Now we're going to come over here, and we're going to stand next to the stock bulb. Not so much, right? You can kind of see it on my shirt a little bit, and I'm right here, right next to it. Okay? See? Now we're going to do the same thing. Go back over here to the LASFIT bulb. I'm standing right next to it, and look. That just shows you the difference right there in the brightness. Now let's put the bulbs inside of the lens and see a side by side. Wow, you can clearly see the difference here. All right, now keep in mind, guys, I only have the top bulb, which is LASFIT over there. The bottom one on this one I didn't change yet. Just that top one. Look how bright it is. Over here, these are both still stock. Okay? Now, granted, this has a little bit of sunlight coming in, but still, no matter what angle you go on, you can see it's still not really bright. And just looking from over here at the other light, look how it's illuminating that whole corner. Look at the brightness. This, not so much. It's not so bright. But come over to this one. I mean, look at that. Wow. You can even see the difference in the camera. So, yeah. I mean, it's clear as day. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish putting in the bottom bulbs. I got the lights out enough so I can get my arm in there. And I'm going to finish putting them in. And then I'll come back with all the bulbs changed. And I'll show you one last view of them. But I'm not going to film the rest of the process of changing the bulbs. You guys, if you're at this point, pretty much get your arm in there and you can get that bulb out and you can change them, all right? It's just really hot in the garage today. I'm dripping in sweat and I just want to get this done, all right? So stay tuned. We're going to change them all and we'll be right back. So when we first started, this was the truck with all stock bulbs in it. And now, here's the truck with all the LASFITs in it. Bam! Clear as daylight. Please, if you can, hit subscribe below. I'm trying to get my subscribers up and up and up. I've been doing this for a few years now. I try to do videos a couple times a week to help everybody out. If you could just hit that subscribe button and a little bell so that you get notified when I upload stuff. It's not just trucks. It's not just cars. It's mowers. It's backhoes. It's all kinds of stuff that I'm working on here. And somewhere along the line, you may need something. Who knows? Or you might be able to help somebody else by referring my video. Please subscribe, like. I'll see you guys next time.